Peace, family. We got a situation that happened in Texas. A woman on the bottom of your screen, Tonya Barnett, has been arrested of the murder of C.J. Ellis. Now, this story is so deep. I'd like to give a shout out to Mike Larry. You need to go on his YouTube channel. He's awesome on that. Um, it's called Mike Larry 2K10, I believe. Yeah, Mike Larry 2K10. Check his YouTube channel out. He's awesome. This is a story that, you know, breaks my heart. But this woman right there, this so-called fatal attraction female right there, is responsible of killing him. And before I play this video, I'm going to tell you the story, this background about her. She basically, you know, honestly killed this man and make it look like he assaulted her, he hit her, beat her. And you know, the thing of it is there's no evidence that he put his hands on her. In fact, this story is so gruesome that he basically told her he wanted to get back with his child's mother. But she doesn't care. But she had a criminal record before. She did all this Becky right here did all this before this incident. So I'm going to go ahead and play this video. And again, shout out to Mike Larry of the story. And, you know, and during this video, he interviewed his sister of explaining what happened to the situation. And once this video has ended, I will continue to do my commentary.
New information in the death of a Bowie County man has led to the arrest of a woman on a manslaughter charge. 40-year-old Tonya Barnett is now charged in the death of Cecil Ellis Jr. This all stems from a deadly shooting that happened on May 24th. Investigators say Barnett originally told them she shot Ellis, who she says was her boyfriend, while he was assaulting her. By the sheriff's office says another interview, she changed her version of what happened. She was released from the bi-state jail on a $20,000 bond.
My brother's death, and he stated that he just wanted to inform us that this was not a murder case. They were using it as a self-defense case.
Wow.
And I asked, I said, self-defense? I said, so on what grounds? He stated, well, she did have bruises that showed it was impact. And your brother did suffer from some scars that supported what she stated. So we're treating this as a self-defense case. And his body has been sent to Dallas, and they will contact you to know what funeral home that with further information of where we need to, what funeral home will be getting him.
So after she got questioned, did she go to the hospital or anything?
She went to the hospital from the scene, from the crime scene.
So where there should be records, there should be it should be some pictures, especially like in the precinct, because you know they take pictures of the victim, you know, just to keep record of what they're basically saying in the report. If she got bruises, they take pictures of her hands or wherever the bruises may be. Where is that to prove that she felt it was a self-defense?
They couldn't provide that information because it was part of, as they explained to us, it was part of the investigation. When we asked for that, we wouldn't deem any of that information because they stated that it was part of the investigation. Also, from my understanding, if you shot somebody, I thought her clothing was supposed to be kept as part of the investigation. That's been exactly what she turned my brother in. Then after that, the lead detective that walked her down, that's over the case, he came back up from walking her down to her car safely because she feared for her life from us. I mean, she fears for her life real easy. She felt like we was a threat. She feared for her life from us also. So after he came from walking her down, he came up and he explained that he was the lead detective over the case, and he told us that the captain informed us that CJ had previous charges showing abuse. I said, you're talking about my brother Cecil Ellis Jr. He said, well, no, I'm not stating that we were able to pull that, but it's allegations that states that he has previous incidents of abuse. I said, I asked, we're speaking of records. So when the lead detective over the case came in, I asked him, I stated that the captain informed me that you had information stating that my brother has a record of previous abuse. He then stated, no, I ran your brother's records through all of our database. He has a clean record.
Right.
I wasn't able to pull anything. So that's a discrepancy right there. Your captain is saying one thing, but the lead detective is saying something totally different. Also, in the news report, it stated that it was a 2-year-old there on the scene. But when we spoke to the lead detective, I said, well, it stated that it was a child there. I said, but you told us it was only my brother and the female. He said, well, you can't believe everything the news states. Well, when when the mother of his kid comes in and speaks to the detective, and she asks about was there a child in the home, they said, yes, it was in fact the child in the home, but the child slept throughout the whole altercation. A 2-year-old slept through a gunshot.
Hell no, they would have got up.
Through my brother beating her.
Yeah.
And her fighting for her life. And the 2-year-old slept through the whole scene.
It don't make. Go ahead.
So then after that, I said, well, did you check for DNA under her nails? I said, if she was fighting for her life, his DNA should be. He said, we can't give you that information. I then asked, did you check for gun residue? He said, we can't give you that information as part of the investigation. I asked, well, if she shot him, did you take pictures of the blood splatter? Because it'll support what she's stating.
Mm-hmm.
We can't give you that because it's part of the investigation.
Oh man. So
we haven't seen my brother since the day he died. My mom wasn't called to identify him. It could be anybody down there right now. We don't know if that's our brother. All we know is my brother didn't make it home.
So how the fuck they going to able just to send him to the morgue and to the damn funeral home without any family members identifying the body? Like,
exactly.
You go there and be like, okay, that's him, and they push him right back. You know what I mean? Excuse me.
Exactly. We know how it goes.
Right. So
none of that happened. None of that happened. My dad was contacted at his home, and they told him that his son was deceased. This how valuable the information that the suspect gave. That's how valuable the information that she gave to them.
He just went with that.
They went with that. That's what we're going with. When we came in, we were treated as if CJ was guilty. They talked to us in that. They talked to us the captain explained to us that this was being treated as a self-defense. So he's already deemed guilty.
Already.
So you're not fighting to show that CJ was innocent in no way. If you're sitting here stating that we're treating this as a self-defense case. After I questioned the lead detective about what I was informed by the captain, he said, no, we're not treating this as a self-defense case. We're treating it as a suspicious case. So you mean your captain don't know what you're doing? It's some type of discrepancy if all y'all are at the scene.
Somebody has mixed feelings. You know what I mean? It seemed like the captain is more race first kind of guy.
Hello.
You know what I'm saying? That's all what it is. He don't really know the ins and outs, the nooks and crannies. He just going because that motherfucking non-melanated skin she got.
Exactly. And like I explained to him, I said, well, my brother was being contacted by her ex-boyfriend, which Tonya explained to the officers that she had several cases of abuse from her ex-boyfriend. My brother was being contacted by her ex-boyfriend, which is James Brantley, for the last 3 weeks. He never replied to anything. He told me that the guy was steady calling him through Facebook and sending messages. Well, they explained to me, right now we have no one to speak for CJ. So until somebody come forward, the only evidence we have is what Tonya's giving us. I said, well, what about his phone records?
Exactly.
Well, his phone laid in a puddle of blood because he was shot in the head and he laid there. His phone laid in a puddle of blood, and it takes a minute for them to pull those records.
Motherfucking, I'm not saying it to you. Motherfucking know it. The only thing I gotta do is get a subpoena for the cell phone company, whatever he's under. Subpoena the motherfuckers to give you all the records that you need. Plain and simple. It might take a couple of weeks. So what? Subpoena the motherfucker and or clean up and turn it on.
Exactly. And like I explained to him, I said exactly what you said to him. I said, he was like, well, we're trying to find out the carrier. I said, this is just as simple as looking in the right-hand corner to tell you. If it's straight top Verizon, I mean, it's that simple.
Especially when you cut it on, the fucking whole shit is going to tap it.
Exactly. So they said we have her phone records, but some things can be deleted. So, like I stated, the only voice we have is Miss Tonya. If CJ was here to speak for himself, then we would have more evidence. But if you find out anything, I said, well, are y'all gonna question the boyfriend?
No, go ahead, love. I'm listening. Shit.
I asked, were they going to question the boyfriend? Well, we're trying to get in contact with him, but it was only Tonya and CJ at the scene. So, right now we're trying to. Once we get access to his phone, we'll figure out where we need to go from there.
So, how long is it going to take to get in the person's phone? Just say if this was like a drug bust, they was following somebody. Just hypothetically, just say if it was CJ, they was following him. Just say he was selling drugs or whatever, and they busting him and some shit. They'd go on his phone and try to get some contact. They would do all that. They do all that crooked shit
immediately.
Everybody in the chat now, y'all know all the shit I be putting up and everything that we be seeing out there. This is another prime example of how they protect their own people. They protect their own. I'm telling you, this is a prime example. They don't give a fuck if she's lying or what. Long as you white, it's all right.
It's right. If it's right, it's right. And that's what we're fighting. We're fighting more than the justice system. We fight racism. We fight people that's over the case that's racist. Point blank period. One of the investigators, my brother, his truck was at her home. The police had the tow company to tow the truck. We had to pay $180 to then get my brother's truck out of tow. The man who towed my brother's truck stated to my sister that we needed to get a lawyer.
Hell yeah.
He stated because the police talk too much. He said he already told us that the man beat the fuck out of her and they deeming this as a self-defense case. And she beat the fuck out of her and she shot him, so they deeming it as a self-defense case. So they already knew before they left the scene what they were going to do. They gave her time to go back home. He informed me. I said, well, where is she going? She going back to the house? Is it still considered a crime scene? Is the home still under investigation? And he said, no, we did a thorough investigation. He said she's able to go back to her home. It was never, when you watch the news report, the home was never taped off as a crime scene. And then come to find out, that's the home that my brother was killed in was not even her home. That's not even where she lives. She lives on Jefferson Street, which is deemed Arkansas side.
Wow.
My brother was killed on 100 Park Boulevard, which is Texas side. On Texas side, it's a self-defense law. So it seems to me it was some
That was a
type of
setup. Yeah.
Setup.
It's a setup, fam. And
It's a
then
setup.
when I seen on RT Hicks page, it said that she wanted him to come over, and she called them like 19 times.
19 times. 19 times. He was contacted 19 times because she reached out. My brother was working on getting back with his child's mother.
Before
And so she contacted the child's mother to inform her that he was sneaking around with her. So my brother cut off all ties with her. On Mother's Day weekend, I read the text. She texted my brother and said, "Can I get the dick one more time?" And my brother explained to her, he was like, "You already know how I felt about my baby mother." He said, "That's done." And that was it. After that, she contacted my brother 19 times. The night of his death, my brother was not even at her house. He was at a white female house, Deanna. Deanna just contacted us today and informed us that my brother made it to her house at 2 o'clock in the morning. That the girl made a fake Instagram page and contacted her. She said, "I don't know if she had some kind of tracking system on your brother or what, but she knew your brother was at my house." She contacted this girl. She contacted this girl and asked the girl what she said, "So you're fucking CJ." After that, the girl said, "Who is this?" She told the girl who she was. Deanna knows Tonya personally. So she feared for Tonya because she's heard previous allegations. Her child's father that was killed 7 or 8 years ago stated that Tonya had something to do with it. And Tonya just previously stabbed her boyfriend. So
they don't have all that. So the police don't have all that shit on record. They don't know nothing about this bitch. Somebody got killed.
She has a criminal record.
She got a criminal record.
Right. She has fraud for writing hot checks, fraud and everything. She has a criminal record that's open to the public. You can look it up right now. But she walked away. She's the victim. She walked away as a victim. You're dealing with somebody that has a long history of a criminal record. It's someone that has nothing at all, and he's already guilty. He's already guilty. And then the girl, Deanna, contacted the investigators and told them that CJ was at her house and that Tonya contacted her the night and that she was afraid because she knew Tonya. So she made CJ leave her home because she was Tonya had, what did she tell her? That she was on her way. She's on her way. She told Deanna that she was on her way to her house. And she stated that she was scared because Tonya does bad things to people.
New information in the death of a Bowie County man has led to the arrest of a woman on a manslaughter charge. 40-year-old Tonya Barnett is now charged in the death of Cecil Ellis Jr. This all stems from a deadly shooting that happened on May 24th. Investigators say Barnett originally told them she shot Ellis, who she says was her boyfriend, while he was assaulting her. By the sheriff's office says another interview, she changed her version of what happened. She was released from the bi-state jail on a $20,000 bond.
Okay, you saw the video. Again, shout out to Mike Larry 2K10. Check his YouTube channel out, Mike Larry 2K10. He's one of the most realest, talk show hosts on YouTube. He give you the real stuff of what's happening. Shouts to him. Now, with this story, you saw what CJ Ellis' sister said. This Becky set him up. And for a fact, she act like she played the victim and claiming that, well, he hurt me. He did this to me. I had to do that. I shot him. You heard what CJ Ellis' sister said. That basically the house that she was in wasn't her house. And see, by Texas law, and his sister was right. Texas law, they had a stand your ground law in the state of Texas. It's like in Florida. Florida has a stand your ground law. So is Texas, which means that the police going to side with her because quote unquote self defense. That she did it in self defense. And it turns out, as you heard, ladies and gentlemen, that from CJ Ellis' sister, that really wasn't her house. She was really lived in the Arkansas side, not the Texas side. So you see, ladies and gentlemen, she set him up from the word go because he didn't want to deal with this girl anymore. He told her he's with his child's mother. And all of a sudden, she's still contacting him. She's still texting him, harassing him. This is a fatal attraction type bullcrap. And you heard what CJ Ellis' sister said too, that she's dealing with she had a criminal record, a previous investigation. She stabbed one of her previous boyfriends and got away with it. See, this is what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. And then with the investigation, you heard what CJ Ellis' sister said about that. That the police, I think the police captain and the lead detective had two separate stories. And they claiming the police, and you heard that CJ Ellis himself didn't have a criminal record, not even a parking ticket, a speeding ticket. And then all of a sudden, police detective call her, well, she, talking about this Becky here, well, really, she, had to defend herself because he beat her up a lot of stuff. But look what happened. She set this man up. He didn't want her anymore. And this is why I tell everybody, watch out for those Beckys, man. These Beckys will get you killed. And that's exactly what happened with this case. See, they knew that in Texas, the state of Texas, they're going to protect her because guess what? It's stand your ground. They had to stand your ground. And this is why I say, guys, that the stand your ground law is so controversial that people can say they can break it in your home. They try to do something to stand your ground. And this case after case after case, look what happened to Trayvon Martin. Look what George Zimmerman did. Use that same old stand your ground law to free him. And the Marissa Alexander case, a black woman who was really feared for her life. Trying to get away from her estranged husband. It didn't work for her. She spent a couple of years in prison for that. I think no later than 20 years, but they reduced her sentence. But my point is that this fatal attraction Becky set this brother up. For what? All because he doesn't want you no more? And then all of a sudden, now, and guess what? She was freed from bail. Why did you free her from bail? I'm telling you guys, this is some crazy stuff, man. When I saw this video, and again, shout out to Mike Larry 2K10 for this story. When I saw this video, man, it really makes me angry in a way because it shows that you dealing with a woman like that, and people and stuff like that would get you killed in a way. So this story to me, she's out on bail, and the police and the police were and they you heard what the sister said that they sent Ellis's body to Dallas, and basically they couldn't even see his body. The family couldn't even identify his body. Can you tell? Can you notice that? So this story is crazy to the word go. She didn't even the police didn't even look at her criminal record, saying that she's been in trouble before. And then they believe what she said because guess what? They found scars and bruises and then didn't have any evidence proving that the brother really did those things. So guys, tell me what you think about this story. Leave a comment and just let me know about this because this story is sickening. This Becky here, that's why I tell brothers, if you see her, run for your life. You can't trust these especially women like her. So, guys, leave a comment. Tell me what you think about it. And, because to me, the story itself is sickening. But with that being said, this is Lions Den, and I'm gone. Deuces.